Hello and welcome to the next entry for the Wind Speaks audio blog. The other night I was facilitating a group discussion, and as I often do in groups, I will find a reading or randomly flip open to a reading in a book that I select. And on this particular evening, I actually was looking for something that aligned with the topic. And I came across this reading from Richard Wagamese from the book Embers. And it was an entry that I hadn't seen before or read before. And I'm going to share that with you right now and then talk a little bit about how it struck me and why I think it's important. So the entry goes like this. My spiritual father once told me, nothing in the universe ever grew from the outside in. I like that. It keeps me grounded. It reminds me to be less concerned with outside answers and more focused on the questions inside. It's the quest for those answers that will lead me to the highest possible version of myself. And so the line that really struck me is the nothing in the universe ever grew from the outside in. And it really connects me to something that I've been talking a lot about recently and over the years, and certainly something that has shown up in my own journey. And it's this idea of what we orient to. And I think for many of us, we are or have been oriented towards the external, those around us. And we allow that to inform our direction, our truth, our values. So I'm talking about family, friends, co-workers, employers, society, all of these things that we can orient to outside of ourselves. And yet, there's an inner truth, there's an inner knowing, there's an inner sense of direction that is also available to guide us. At our core, there's a part of us that knows exactly the direction we're meant to go. And this anchoring to the outside, it's a distraction. It forms our conditioning. And it's the most important distraction in some ways as well, because it creates this illusion. And it usually starts by some form of wanting to get love, wanting to be seen, wanting to be appreciated. And thinking that if we can change the outside circumstances, then we'll be happy. We'll feel complete. We'll feel like we belong. But ultimately, we can't change the outside circumstances. We can only change ourselves. We can only anchor into our truth. And I can say that on my journey, when I realized that this was my focus and that I was distracting myself from myself, it was a bit of a rude awakening. Not only that, it was a very foreign concept to turn inwards. And it was hard to turn inwards because that's where the pain is. That's where the suffering lives. And yet, there's so much wisdom and so much growth that can happen inside. And ultimately, we're meant to be our unique expression. We're meant to shine our light in our way, in unique ways. And that in and of itself is confronting in a world that wants us to be the same, that wants us to conform to certain values and expectations and beliefs and ways of being, and we must fit into the world in a certain way. And yet, that couldn't be further from the truth. We're here to be unique. We're here to share our unique perspectives, to share our unique gifts. And when we do that, there's a level of wholeness that comes from that. When we connect to and make space for and take action on the things that light us up, the things that bring us joy, the things that only we know and understand, and creativity, expression, all of these ways of being that are not like those around us. And yes, uniqueness can create separateness. But living your life for other people can also make you feel separate. So it's like the same possibility on both sides. When we speak our truth, live our truth, orient to our truth, we might find people fall away. We might find that ways of being fall away. But like this reading says, nothing in the universe ever grew from the outside in. We grow from the inside. We expand from the inside. We become more of ourselves. We become connected to more of ourselves from the inside. Everything outside can disappear in one way or another. There's a documentary I love. It's called Finding Joe. And there's a line in the movie where I think it goes something like, at some point you might realize that, you've had your ladder leaning up against the wrong wall. And that the purpose that you were chasing, the expectations you had set for yourself, the goals you set for yourself, you realize that they were never yours. They belonged to someone else. They belonged to an external idea of who you thought you should be. But the things that really drive you and the things that are really motivating you are the truths that live inside you. And so to realize that your ladder has been on the wrong wall, and for some people that is a relationship they thought was so important, or career, and to realize that, that's actually not the thing. To realize that we've been denying ourselves that whole time. And I really do believe that this is a part of our awakening. It's an important part of the journey. So the conditioning and the pain we suffer through and having our ladder against the wrong wall, it's all part of it. It's like the only way that we can see the truth is to deny the truth and to go down the path of the opposite direction. But once we notice, once we realize that our ladder is up against the wrong wall, then we have to do something about it. And that's the hard work, to reclaim ourselves, to reclaim our truth, and to step into our passion and our wisdom, and to do the things and be the things that are so important to our essence, to our core. And it takes a lot of courage. It's a great risk to step out and claim yourself. It could be deemed as selfish, but truly it's not. So I think I will leave it there. There's lots to contemplate, lots to think about. As always, I hope it stirred something in you. And I wish you blessings on your journey. And bye for now.